Okay. Welcome everybody here. Good morning. We are here into another amazing Amud from Maseches Bava Metzia. You see the three numbers over here. That's 3, 5, and 10. It's really very easy. And after we said all the Nishmas, I'm just welcoming everybody here. Navas Shalom. Welcome to People in Torah Anytime, YouTube, and Kol HaLashon. We are in Daf Kuf Tes Amud Beis in the very last line, the very bottom line of the page. And yesterday we have encountered Machlokas Abaye and Rove regarding the following. Let's say a person borrowed money from his friend, and their agreement is that the lender will get a mortgaged land. That kind of mortgage is a type of mortgage which is called either mashkanta of surah, a mashkanta that established in the yeshiva of surah or was accepted in the town of surah, which is mentioned in Daf Samech Zayin, Samech Ches, and also now. We're going to explain better what this mashkanta is, or a similar kind of mashkanta. There are other variations mashkanta de surah. What's mashkanta de surah? Mashkanta de surah basically means, let's say one owes his friend, I don't know, 10 million shekels, yeah, and he said, okay, that field will be held by the lender. So far, that's regular mashkanta, but he'll be able to eat the fruit, and we set the price of those fruits for million shekel a year. Yeah, in other words, whether they are worth this or they're not worth that, they could be higher or lower. Also, fluctuations in the price, we don't care. Between you and I, in our own little world, we decided, with own consent, that every year the fruit that the person will be eating, which in reality could be more or less, are worth 1 million. At the end of 10 years, the mashkanta is paid. Regardless to whether it was really paid or not, we viewed as if the mortgage was paid at the end of, let's say, 10 years, and that's it. Bekitzer, yeah, mashkanta d'sur could be very good for the loive. Also, there's no ribis. There's no ribis. Why is there no ribis? Mashkanta d'sura, let's say the loan was 10 million, and really the guy who's eating, who is the lender, the malve, he's really eating 15 million. Yeah, it does make a difference. Why? They decided to set the price in 10 million. Yeah, and it's like a rent. Let's say you rent an apartment in Ramat Gimel. I don't know how much that is. I don't know, 3,000. Maybe I'm talking nonsense. I don't know, 3,000 shekels. And let's say both sides are aware that I'm renting it for only 2,000 or for 4,000. If everyone's aware, nobody's cheating. Yeah, I'm getting it for a very cheap price, very high price. No problem. No ribis. It's ribis. We're fixing higher, lower prices. That's mashkanta d'sura. 1 second, please. The fruit is being actively eaten every year. He reaps it, he eats it, he sells it. Who? The malve, who actively sits there. It's all important to know. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, he sits there. He eats the karko. He eats the land, the fruit of the land. The land obviously belongs to who? Belongs to the owner, to the love, and he will get back to him in 10 years' time, whether you ate or you didn't eat. But you have the rights to eat it for 10 years. You are slowly paying the debt off as you go along by him, the malve, eating the fruit. That is, in short, Mashkanta d'sura. Mashkanta d'nechyas is a little bit different, but it's not so much the issue now. That's what we have to know. Abai and Rava had an argument. What happens if, this is actually very simple, it's not even a chart. Yeah, there is line 0 at the beginning of the process. Yeah, when the loan was taken, the loan was given, the guy saw the amount in his bank account. Yeah, the loive, this field with all its fruit, whichever fruit there are, apple, oranges, or anything, are in the hands of who? Of the malve. Now the malve says, okay, for 10 years, and that was a real story in the Gemara. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a real story, it's a case. It's a case, no, it's a case that really happened actually. There was a person who was mashkin the field, actually the orchard, the part is for 10 years, okay? After 5 years, all of a sudden, some of the trees stopped bearing fruit. The trees did not bear fruit anymore. They died. They didn't die. They got very old. It did not give fruit anymore. They tried to give them injections. I don't know. It didn't work. Yeah, they don't give fruit anymore. So now what happens next? Machlokes Abai and Rava. Now, before Abai and Rava talk, let me give you the background. If the fruit worked till the end of the term, till 10 years, yield delicious, nice fruit, what's the problem? Mr. Malvi eats the fruit and eats the fruit regardless of their value, and this is how it gets paid. That's so nice and lovely. What happens if the fruit, now in 5 years' time, the Rashi pointed out, it's likely, we're not sure, but it's likely that those kind of trees, after 5 years, they start declining. That's the arrow going down. It's not such a surprise for anybody that in 5 years' time, they don't bear fruit anymore. There's nothing, they don't yield. They just remain, dark and gloomy. And all they're good for is what? Firewood. So now, At that point, we have Machlokes Abai and Rava. There is a reason why I put the number 3. Let's leave that for later. Abai and Rava now argue like this. Abai says, listen, at this point, the Malva can tell the Loive, up until now, your fruit, what did they bear? Apples, oranges, kiwis, papayas, all very nice. Now, there's no fruit anymore. This is the fruit, meaning I'll cut the firewood myself. I will sell it to people. I use it for my own fire. I need it for my cool fireplace, when I sit with my coffee, yeah. And what? And that's fruit. And that's it. Now he may have to pay him from other sources, right? Yeah, let's instead of 10 years, let's say all the fruit in the field are not there anymore. So cut short. We spoke about 10 years. As much as we say we don't care about the value, there is a gvul. If after 5 years' time, the only fruit that there is the tree itself became the fruit. Fruit doesn't mean fruit, apples, oranges. It means something that grows from the principle. It's the opposite of principle. That's a fruit. I cut up all the fruit, I ate them up. Now give me another piece of land. We are still 5 years to go. Give me cash. Give me another land. That's it. Now you're still in debt. You still owe me 5 years. According to Abai. I told you yesterday, Abai seems to be not so good for the loiva. Rava says no. Rava says recycle. Rava says no. Although it was expected that it's going to happen, so what? I told you until 10 years' time I'll give you fruit. Let's turn those trees, let's it happen to all the entire field. Just make it simpler, yeah? The entire field is now full of what? Bare, disgusting, fruitless trees. That, what can you do with them? Sell them. Sell them to other people for firewood. You can make $1 million. Some people need firewood. Yeah, let's say, yeah. And then buy with that another field, and that field will be now starting the new business. We'll plant trees, yeah, or we'll buy another another orchard with trees in it, yeah, maybe smaller, and continue the deal for the next 5 years or so. Yeah, let's recycle it. Don't turn that into fruit and finish the story dead end, but rather, yeah, sell those trees for firewood. There's no fruit anymore, and make them into another profitable, fruitful business. That's what the Machlokes Abai and Rava over here, when it happens in the middle of the term, but it was not unexpected. Soon we'll see why expectation makes a difference. And actually, we saw it already yesterday. I'm not repeating yesterday. The Gemara had a question on Abaye, and the Gemara said Abaye agrees to Rava that, let's say in the middle, the number 3 doesn't appear in the Gemara, just my own example. Let's say somewhere, let's say those trees have longevity of 5 to 10 years. All of a sudden, something happened, a catastrophe, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided on Rosh Hashanah that they will die early. That's what Rashi says. They died before their time. They died, let's say after 3 years, they start bearing fruit. That is unexpected. At that point, we say, no. Who's agreeing to who now? Abaye agrees to Rava. Since the Balabais, meaning the Malva, not the Balabais, the Malva can say, listen, 5 years, I expected it to die. Therefore, I knew that that's the fruit. That's the end of the line. But if it happened too early, even Abaye agrees that the Malva can tell the Loiva, that's sudden death. I thought I'm going to get more and more fruit, or the Loiva, I'm not sure, whatever. They both can say, I expected those things to grow, to continue till 5 years. So now, even Abaye would agree that we have to have the show going on, because it's unexpected that all of a sudden, instead of trees that bear fruit and more fruit and more fruit, bang in the middle, after 3 years, too early, all of a sudden they don't give fruit. And now this is the fruit, that's the end of the story. Actually, this is better for the Loiva. The Loiva can tell the Malva, no, that's not something you expected. You expected to have more trees growing more fruit. So even Abaye would agree that it happened too early. We sell the firewood, buy with it another orchard of trees or something like that, and continue eating the fruit till the next 7 years, till the 10 years. Why? Again, you get the logic? We're gonna mention it again. We're gonna mention it again. The same logic is gonna happen again. It's gonna appear again. Toshma, come in here. Yeah, so in the middle there's the Machlokes. If it's before 5 years, very unexpected, then again, I'm repeating so you get it better. If it happened unexpectedly too early, then obviously we both knew, or we both thought we knew, that what? It's going to live till at least 5 years, right? So make it live longer. You can't say, that's it, end of story. I'm eating now all the fruit, meaning I'm cutting all the sin of burning them, all the twigs and all the branches. Now I'm left with another 7 years. No, it wasn't your plan. It wasn't your plan. And therefore, let's replant according to original plan, at least for another 2 years, if not more, because that was the original plan, that they're supposed to survive and give new fruit, a new fruit, a new fruit. It's good for the loive. The loive has a chicken that lays golden eggs. These are the trees, right? Once the trees are finished, there's nowhere to pay his debt from. It's not good for him. He can tell the Malvin, no, excuse me, you did not expect this to happen. And therefore, let's make it happen. Let's keep the trajectory straight. Instead of this falling, it fell here in the middle. Don't say end of story, Gomarnu, dead end of story. No, don't do that. But rather, we knew it's going to live at least 5 years. Revive it and make it live longer as we expected by selling the firewood and buying new stuff. That's the, yeah, okay. Questions, quick, please. Yeah. Toshma. All good, Baruch Hashem. Toshma. Now we're going to see for the 100th time the concept of what? Nichse milug. We all know what nichse milug are. 1 second, please. Nichse milug is. What's nichse milug? Anybody? Okay. Basically, a woman got, that's one of the way nichse milug can work. A married woman, her father died. She's very, very sorry about it, but she also became a millionaire, yeah, in a second, because her father inherited her all the money. Either she's a single girl, daughter, yeah, single child, or she did share with her brother. Lo mashane. She got money now with Yerusha, and she's married to her husband. So classically, what do we say? We say that those nechosim, those assets, let's assume we're talking about ground with trees growing in it, and now that lady automatically, that becomes nichse milug. Nichse milug, nechosim that are moleg, that are cut off, which means the body of the karka and possibly the trees belongs to her, to the woman. She's the owner of the actual tree, and the fruit are enjoyed by the husband. The husband is the one that picks the fruit and collects the fruit, and he gets the money. By the way, if you're worried about her rights, don't worry about her rights, because he's only supposed to get money with that would support the family. If he does something wrong with it, he starts, gambling or going to chutzlarts for no reason, that's osur. Yeah, he should take the money and support the family. She gets the body, he gets the fruit. That's the way it works. Toshma, comes the Bryce and tells us as follows. Noflu lo, which means the lady fell upon her, meaning she inherited Bifanim v'zeisim, vineyards or olive trees, zekenim. Oy, you know what happened? Ugh, they don't have any fruit. Yeah, she had ground. The Havamina, we think she had a piece of land with trees, but those trees don't bear fruit anymore. And when the father died, they were already like that. That's what we think now. Okay. In other words, all she got is trees that had their better times. They don't yield fruit anymore, and that's why she got them. What do we say? Imachru le'etzim. So now the husband says, "Well, I deserve the body, and you deserve what? You get the body, the woman, and he gets the fruit." What does halacha say? Imachru le'etzim v'ilakach ben karka v'ochel peros. We don't say cut off the eitzim. We don't view trees that are already dry as end of story, end of line, right? We don't say that's the end of it like Abaye. And we say the husband will eat all the fruit, meaning he'll take it to firewood, yeah, or that's it. We say no, resell them, recycle them, sell the firewood, buy with them a piece of land, and in that piece of land belong to her the new piece of land, recycling it, and he will get the fruit. So that's against Abaye. We see that we view eitzim that are just all they're good for is to be burnt, be firewood. We don't view them as end of story, burn them and finished. We say sell them and continue the deal. We view them as still keren, as a principle that seems to be exactly against Abaye and pro Rova. And says one word, Ema vehizkinu. No. They were not old when she got them, when she received them from her dead father, from a dead dad. Yeah, they were not already old. Vehizkinu, they unexpectedly, Rashi says, koftzal and zikne below izmana, like speaking about people. Yeah, they got old too early, unexpectedly. Right? Sometimes you see a guy who's 55 years old and it looks like he's 70 years old all of a sudden. Lo aleinu, big disasters, heart attacks. So that's what happened to the trees. What difference does it make? Of course it makes a difference. What did we say about Abaye? That if the tree was supposed to live for 5, 10, 15 years, and the husband and the wife knew it, all of a sudden he died in the 3rd year. Oh, that Avad, even Abaye would agree, that if he died too early, I, the husband, deserved to get a tree that was 5 years old. That was my plan, right? At least for 5 years, I'm supposed to get the fruit. He died after 3 years. Oh, unexpected. Here, even Abaye would agree that we sell the tree to continue for longer because that's against the basic plan. So here, there's no question on Abaye. Another alternative answer. Lav miukimna lahi. Didn't the Gemara already in Dafa in Tes in Ksubas explain the following I don't know if it's Mishnah or Raisa. Kigon shenoflu lo besode acheres, which means up until now we thought what that she had a piece of land. On the piece of land, she had the trees growing, right? And then Abaye can tell you, or then Rava can tell you, yeah, they can tell you, listen, you have keren, you have the goof of the land, right? And the fruit, yeah, Abaye will tell you, listen, the fruit, you buy the firewood for the husband, the land remains the woman. Don't cry, lady. What do you want? It's true. He took all the trees and he burned them, whatever. Fine, he used them firewood. Lamaisa, you stay with the land. Over here, says Abaye, no. We're talking, that's not the case, says Abaye. You're wrong the way you interpret the story. The Gemara says, Shenoflo labasode acheres, which means there was another field belonging to someone else, belonging to Chamyanko, whoever, Ploini. All she got was the trees. She only got trees planted in someone else's field. She doesn't have a land with trees, right? Okay, which then Abaye could say, a land with trees, what's the problem? Cut off all the trees. Why are you crying? You still have the land. You can plant new stuff there. That was Abaye's reason. Here, that's not the story. She got, in the case of Ksubas, what did she get? She got only trees. If you cut the trees, you're not cutting the pears, you're cutting the keren, because that's all she has. That's for sure husband cannot do. As the Gemara concludes, the kakalia kana. A husband is not allowed to take away the keren, the principle, from his wife. And since all she has is the fruit trees that are now not fruit trees anymore, they're just, bare trees, Lamaise, he cannot take them and burn them because it's not called using the pears completely. It's called using the keren. You're mechale. You're destroying the keren. To touch the keren, a husband is not allowed to touch the basic principle of his wife's assets. And that's what would be done here. That's why it's not good. But then, if you talk about her inheriting land with trees, with fruit, here Abaye would stick to his guns and would say, no, the husband can say, once those trees are dry, all the good for is firewood. As far as I'm concerned, instead of picking nice red apples, now I have another kind of fruit called what? Called trees. Even whether it happens suddenly or not. Yeah, where's the keren? The land. What do you want, my wife? You have the land. Go and build a hotel on the land. Yeah, shaking over here. The whole thing was only trees. If all she has is trees, if you cut the trees, you're cutting off the keren. You're killing the chicken that lays the golden eggs that you're not allowed to do as a husband. Right. Oh, now we're going to see fascinating stories about. Let's see. Ahu story. Yeah, about unclarity once again. There was a shtar, and we're again talking about mashkanta, the surah, or the like. A person borrowed money, and now the lender sits in his land eating the fruit for how many years? It's a good question. How many years exactly is the problem? They wrote a shtar, not very wisely, I think, I'm sorry to say, and the Malva and the Loiva wrote a shtar stating what? I borrow 10 million shekel, I borrow so and so, and you're allowed to live in my land for the next period, for the following years, and that will be the payment of the debt. How many years? Not written in the shtar. Now, they're not so stupid, because really there are Eidim there. There are Eidim who witnessed the shtar, and the Eidim heard what they said. In other words, Baal Peh, they mentioned the amount of years. That's important to know, to understand the story later. They didn't mention it verbally, but they didn't state it in the shtar. So there are two people, the Eidim, who know how many years this agreement's meant to stay, but it's just not written in the shtar. Why didn't they write it in the shtar? I don't know, and I'm sorry to use bad language. I don't care. That was the story. So there are two people who know it verbally. I don't know if they recorded it in the times of the Gemara, but it's not written in the shtar. How many years is Mr. Malve supposed to stay in the field as a form of payment of the halvo'o? Surprisingly, they started fighting. At some point, starts an argument. Very interestingly, Malve Omar Sholish. The Malve says, I deserve to be there 3 years. Loive Omar Shtaim. The Loive said, no, 2 years. So the third year came in, and they start arguing. Didn't go to Beis Din. The Loive says, oh, what? 2 years and that's it. We decided the 2 years is the payment for the debt. And again, Mishkanta de Surah is however much we decide. It's very flexible. We spoke about 2 years. And the Malve, who really likes the field, he says, what are you talking about? We decided 3 years. And now is the third year. Now is the third year. The Kodim Malve v'achlinu leperi. Malve is a quick guy. The Malve doesn't sit there with their arms crossed. The Malve who sits in the field, he eats the fruit again and again the entire third year. Why didn't the Loive act quickly? I don't know, because he didn't. The Loive was going to take him to Beis Din. Maybe he married off 5 children in 1 year. I don't know. It was very, very busy. He didn't deal with it. And now Mr. Loive, Mr. Malve, excuse me, is eating the same fruit that are debatable. From Rosh Hashanah, let's say Tafshin Pei Daled, till the next Rosh Hashanah Tafshin Pei Hey, is a period of argument. Is he allowed to be in the field and eat or not? And meanwhile, he's eating. He has no chash. He says, I'm sure that I'm right and I'm eating the fruit. Now comes the question at the end of the third year, after the third year, then they come to Beis Din. Mineman, who is now believed. What are we going to do as Dayanim? Let's say you're sitting in the Beis Din. Would you believe the Malve or would you believe the Loive? That's a question. So again, we have a question about the land. The land, who's muchzak in the land? Who's the balabais? The Loive. Who's the one who ate the fruit already? He ate them all up, all in his stomach. All the cash is in a bank account now in Switzerland. So now, 2 people are muchzak over here. Who is believed? Rav Yehuda Omar, Karka b'cheskas b'elei kaima. The land belongs to who? To the Loive. We believe the landowner. Why? That's kind of a moitzim chaveroi, which means we know that the landowner is Mr. Loive. Mr. Loive is the right one. You're trying to take fruit from who? From him. You took the fruit unjustifiably. It's not right that you took the fruit. You should have left the fruit and you ate them. You behave like a gangster. Lamaisa, the fruit, the land itself that bears the fruit, we both agree belongs to Balakalka. You want to be mechadish to say not just 2 years, an extra year. Alecha he's muchzak in the land. Nah, that's Rav Yehuda of Kahana Omar. No, Paris b'cheskas ochlein kaimi. No, what are you trying to take out now? What are you trying to do now? To take the cash out of the bank account of the Malde. He already put them in the bank account, right? It's already there. You want to take it from him and take it out and put it in the pocket of the Loive, of the landowner. No. If you work with Chazaka, the one muchzak with the money is who? They're to try. Maybe he's not a nice guy that he ate the fruit. Now he's muchzak in the fruit. He's muchzak in the cash. So leave it that way. Chazaka versus Chazaka, the 2 Titanics, one versus the other. Machlokes Rav Yehuda and Rav Kahana. Wait and see. Surprise is coming. And the Gemara now states the Ilchas HaKavosed Rav Kahana. The Gemara right away tells you what's the aloha. Aloha is like Rav Kahana, the Omar. Rav Kahana said, Peros b'cheskas ochleyen. The Peros are what? B'cheskas ochleyen. We paskin like Rav Kahana. The Peros remain in the hands, in the domain of the one that ate them. All the cash from, let's say, from the fruit that he sold is now in his bank account or under his mattress at home. You want to take it out of him? Problem. He's the one muchzak. Is he a nice guy for eating it before we clarified in Beis Din? Maybe not. But the Maisi is muchzak. And that's the halacha. Frek the Gemara, is that so? B'Kaimalan, we have a rule in Ksubas, in Kiddushin, it says, the Hilchas HaKavosed of Nachman. Well, Rav Nachman, what was his profession? The Dayan. Rav Nachman was Shmuel's friend. They were in the same Beis Din, or they had connection. And Rav Nachman is always right when it comes to Dinim Ominous. That's what the Gemara says in Ksubas and other places. Aloch is like Rav Nachman. And what did Rav Nachman say? Nachman says the Omar, and soon we're going to involve the case. Oh, let's explain the story, which means, if you remember, that's good chazar for what we learned a few weeks ago. What's going to be the halacha if a person told his friend, I'm renting you the house, renting out, please come live in my house for the modest price of, 12,000 shekels a year. That's very, very cheap. 12,000 a year, that's dirt cheap, right? And then he says 1,000 a month. He said 2 things. He spoke about global annual, 12,000 a year, and then he spoke 1,000 a month. That seems to be the same. No, it's not the same thing, because unexpectedly, Beis Din were me'aber the yor, like this coming year. Let's say they didn't know. Back then, it was always flexible, whether Beis Din are going to elongate the year or not? Will it be a leap year or not? And all of a sudden, oh, Mazel Tov, a second Adar was born. They don't know what to do, right? Do we go global and then he doesn't have to pay the Balabais because we spoke about a year? That's part of the year. Or do you go per month and then you do have to pay for the 13th month because that month is of itself, you owe now the 1,000. And of course, the fighting and bickering. And then what happened? Let's say the one sitting in the land, the renter, already set the entire month and now refuses to pay. It's exactly the same question as over here. What was the question over there? The Balabai says, I'm owed 1,000 shekels. You'll live there from Rosh Chodesh Adar Beis till Rosh Chodesh Nisan? You're a thief. What kind of behavior is that? You should have clarified it with me. I'm muchzak in the karka. I'm the one, the Balabai, so of course you owe me every second you live there. I'm muchzak in the land. And the other guy, the renter, says, no, maybe I'm not a nice guy for just living here, but Lamaisa, at the end of the month, you're trying to get out of my pocket 1,000 shekels. So I'm muchzak. There was machlokes there between Rav Shmuel and Rav Nachman. What did Rav Nachman say over there? The Omar, he said, Karka b'cheskas b'alei medes. Oh, Rav Nachman over there sided with who? With the Baal Karka, the one who's the owner of the land. That you prolong, you overstate your welcome in his land. He's muchzak in the land. He'll take the money out of you. He'll take the 1,000 shekels from the pocket of the renter, who, according to him, overstayed his welcome. And over here, you pass in the other way. Over here, a similar case, we pass against Rav Nachman, like Rav Kahana, that we don't touch the money of, here it's not the renter, here it's the malve, the mortgager, but the mice, it's the same concept. How can you pass like Rav Kahana and they're like Rav Nachman? What's the difference? Who's right? The landowner in both cases, or the one sitting there for too long or not for too long, but now holding the money? Who is right? Who's wrong? You're contradicting yourself. Answers the Gemara, no contradiction. No. Awesome over there. Milsa lo avida ligluyehi. Over there, nobody's going to know the truth. Why? There, what really was the machlokes? If you remember the question over there, when the landowner tells the renter, "You pay me globally for the year." A second later, he said, "Pay me per month." But the question, "Tfos loshen rishon or tfos loshen achron?" When a person tells you X and then Y, do we follow the X or the Y? That question is a conceptual question, philosophical question, will never be resolved. And therefore, you have to work with chazaka. When I don't know what to do, that's a big yesod in Lomdus, by the way, where you have no idea what to do, you go with chazaka. If you can find out, you don't follow chazaka. Over there, loy avida ligluye, nobody would ever know the one and only truth. So what do? I really believe, says Rashi, really the one who's right is Baal Karka. Rav Nachman is right. The one who is right is Baal Karka. You behave like a gangster by prolonging your stay and taking all the rent by just living there, and now you say, I'm a muchzak. That's not right. So why over here we say otherwise? Here comes the punchline. Over here, remember what I told you at the beginning of the sugya? Over here, there are people who know the truth. Sounds like a thriller. Two people, and soon they're coming back from Chutzarts, from the old age home, from wherever they are. Two people know the truth. Who are they? The Eidim. They may come and reveal us the real story. And you know what's going to happen? Let's say we're going to be in our Robin Hood now. We're going to say, you who lived there for too long, a whole year, you pay back the entire year, paid back to the landowner because he's muhzak in the land. You know what's going to happen? Maybe tomorrow, Mr. Malve is going to bring those two Eidim, kosher Eidim, and we'll find out that we, Beis Din, are with egg on our faces. Why? Because maybe really he was right. Maybe really he deserves to live there. What's going to happen now? The money that we took from his pocket of the Malv and gave the loive, now, now we found out the truth. Now we'll have to give back the money with another Beis Din sitting, another Beis Din hearing, to give the money because we found out the truth. The truth may be really with the Malve. And now we'll have to give the money back from the loive, back to the Malve. Says Gemara, punch. We did not bother. We don't bother Beis Din twice. Beis Din is not some, a masharsis for you to start running back and forth. We don't want to be matriach and cause Beis Din hassle and extra work twice. And therefore, here we use chazaka the other way. Not the chas v'shalom. We're doing the wrong thing not to be matriach Beis Din. We follow a different kind of chazaka, And since now he's muhzak with it, we don't know the truth, and the truth may be found the other way. So let's leave things as they are. How are things right now? I don't know if he's a nice guy or not, but now the money is in the pocket of the Malve. Leave the money by the Malve until we find the truth eventually when the two Edim decide to come from wherever they are. And that's it. That's why over here it's different. But if you cannot find the truth, then we follow the real halachic and real logical chazaka of Bala Karka. Let's say the Edim died. Or let's say over there, there's no way we can find the truth. Then we take out the money from the pocket of the one who sat there, either as a renter or a lender, for too long. And how do you know? We don't know he sat there for too long, but lemaisa we're machzik the karka b'cheskas be'aleah. He took the karka for an extra year from the bailim who was the muchzak, and for that he has to give it back. Very good. Another case. Weiter. Good point. Next case. Spot the differences between the previous case and the following case. Same idea. The story begins more or less the same. One guy borrowed money from his friend. How is he paying back? By the malve living and eating fruit from his field. So far, so good. Now, in this case, they did write the star. I'm giving you already the hint for what's different. There was a star written very clearly, but the star is just not here. Who's holding the star? The malve. Like in every alva. What does it say in the star? It says in the star, I, Shimon, owe you Reuven 10 million. And it also says, in return, what will you do? Sit in my land X amount of years. But that star is not to be seen in Beis Din. Malve and Loi V'kam, it is written in the star. Where is the star? That's a good question. It's exactly going to be the discussion. Where is the case of the missing star? Malve Oimer Chamesh. The Malve says, you know what it says in the star? That I lost, as you'll see soon, 5 years. I'm supposed to be there 5 years. The Loi Oimer Shalosh. The Loi says, no, only 3 years. I'm sorry, 3 years are up. Get out of my land. And the debt is paid. Shkanta de Sura is flexible. We're done 3 years. Get out of here. Yeah. And he says, no, I deserve 2 other years to extra, not extra. I deserve to stay here 2 more years because it's really 5. Omerle, and they continue to talk. This is all quoting them. Says the Loiva to the Malve, I see the shtarcho. Can you bring me your star, please, to prove what you're saying? Omerle, star irkasli. I'm sorry, I lost it. I lost the star. I lost the star. The dog ate it together with my homework. Yeah, the star irkasli. I lost the star. But I'm telling you, it was 5 years. What do we do? What do we say? Amar Viuda Malve Neeman. Surprise, surprise. The Malve who claims that he lost the star, he's believed. Why? Because of our friend Migo. He has a good Migo. What's the Migo? How many years was he there? And everyone agrees he was there legally? 3. Are you familiar with the magic number 3 when it comes to lands? Of course. Migo di bai Omar lekuchei beyodi. The Malve who sat there 3 years, or the Loive passed by once, twice, 3 times, whistling away with no problem. Had he wanted to, he could have said, the land is mine. Let's refresh and remind ourselves exactly how does the 3 years business work. Somebody sent me, there's a lady in Australia, completely secular, and that she heard about. A lot of secular people that know about the 3 years business, but they don't really know, no offense. A lot of people don't know exactly how it works. It's not law of statutory. It's not. The concept of 3 years is as follows, and it's important in general. It's a huge, hard parak. Let's just revise just in a nutshell. What's the story of the 3 years? If I sold you a piece of land, it's very, very important, or maybe I didn't. You're sitting in your apartment, in your flat, and now comes somebody and says, your flat is mine, and you tell him that's very crucial. You're not telling him, I was sitting here for 3 years and nobody, no. I'm just here for 3 years, so it's mine. We don't live in the jungle. No. Huge, horrible mistake. No. You tell him, you, the one accused of being a squatter, you tell him, I legally bought it from you with a star. However, I don't keep my stars forever. I saw that for 3 years you were in and out. You stayed in the neighborhood. What happens if he's not is another shaila. You didn't tell me anything. I felt secure that I don't have to keep my star anymore. I'm not a hoarder. I went to a support group. I'm not a hoarder anymore, says the guy. And Chazal backed me that after 3 years, a person doesn't have to keep the star. So after 3 years of you being quiet, and the star was in my window pane, was in my house, in my cupboard, I threw it away with the Pesach cleaning because after 3 years, I felt secure in my thing. So now, good morning, mister. After 3 years, you came. I don't like to compare secular law to halacha. That I do know, actually. I don't about other countries. After 7 years in Israel, you don't have to keep your documents anymore that are tax related. Yeah, tax related documents. Yeah, after 7 years, the government, the accountant are not supposed to know about it anymore because 7 years. I mean, I don't know computers, but if it's a file in the hard copy, after 7 years, nobody would claim where are your whatever. 6 in England. Oh, Israel is nicer to the people. 7 years. Lahavdil, same concept. After 3 years, I don't have to hold on to my shtar like a baby for dear life because I already assumed that you didn't protest for 3 years, and therefore it's not that I'm just here. No, I had the shtar and I lost it, and it's a valid taina. I don't have to keep my shtar forever. Maybe it'll come in 60 years again. No, people are not supposed to always, feel insecure about, the place where they live. That's the idea. Says Rav, excuse me, the Malve was sitting there for 3 years. The Levy was, smug and nice about it and cool like a cucumber. Now, say thank you to the Malve that he's saying he only has 2 more years. Since he was there for 3 years, and 3 years, a person holding a karka after 3 years can claim nobody came and told me anything and I lost the shtar. Therefore, he could have told you that the land is completely his and he bought it. He wouldn't say 2 more years, he would say 2,000,000 years. He would say until Mashiach comes past, yeah? So say thank you, and that's amigo, so believe him. That's what Rav Yehuda says. Oh, Rav Yehuda is going to get a lot of slack now from other Amoraim. There are two issues that the Amoraim will challenge Rav Yehuda about. 1 second, please. Papa told Rav Ashi, Rav Zvid v'Rav Avira lo svira lohodo Rav Yehuda. Rav Zvid and Rav Avira, I'm telling you, I know them. They don't agree with Rav Yehuda's svara. Why? My time. What's the reason? There's a shtar and there's a shtar. Don't compare shtar of a sale to shtar of a debt. Hi shtara, this shtar, which he admits is a shtar of what? Of a debt, govaina. Kevin de govaina kai, because this shtar is a shtar that was written for, let's say, 5 years, that's a long time. And if he loses the shtar, what's going to happen? He won't see his money back, right? Malvim keep the shtar forever until the debt is paid. Because if you don't have a shtar, the other guy will deny it, the loive. Mizal zayobei, he must be very careful about it. The derech ha'olam, derech eretz, is people are careful with the shtar. Now, what about the shtar of the mechira? Mechira is not the same. When a person bought a piece of land, then it's his. End of story. Meikradin, it's my land. End of story. For 3 years, I'm keeping it in case there are issues with the sale. Makes a lot of sense, right? Somebody took a loan, made a sale. Receipt. How long do you keep the receipt of the shoes you bought? I don't know, Israel, America, don't get now into customer yet. The concept, for, I don't know, a month or a week, whatever, depends where you live. You may change, you may have tinus. You don't keep the receipt of the shoes 10 years. So, because finished, it's mine already, yeah? Now, the karka too, you keep the receipt, the shtar for 3 years, and that's it. Afterwards, you believe, it's muchzakas beyodi, and it's okay to lose it halachically. But the shtar of a choiv, no, you keep it until you see the last penny. To lose a shtar of what? To lose a shtar of halva doesn't sound like a credible thing. We suspect him big time here. What's michbash? He's hiding the shtar. Schwindler. He thinks I'm going to have 2 more years to enjoy. What a beautiful land. Lush, nice apples. Mamish from the legends. Very nice. Oh, very nice. Another 2 years. He's hiding the shtar, trying to buy illegally 2 more years. We don't believe him. He wants to say migo from a sale. No, a sale is out of the question. A kind of loss you can have in a sale is legal, is normal. It's mine. After 3 years, everyone knows it's mine. Nobody complained. I don't have to keep the obvious. The Shenken by Ishtar, no, it's not a done deal yet. Oh, that's the definition. By Mechir, it's a done deal. Past the done deal, post Maisa, how long do you keep it? It's not a done deal. As long as they didn't see every penny from the loan, I'm still keeping the shtar. Why did you lose the shtar? It doesn't really make sense. And here your migo won't help you. Migo and Taina have to correspond to each other. You're comparing things from different planets. That's why we do not believe at this point. That's why Rav Avira, he argued with Rav Yehuda. And comes another claim, another problem. Yeah. And Rav Zvid as well as Rav Avira. Another claim against Rav Yehuda. If you follow Rav Yehuda's logic, that the Malvi can say, I'm here, 3 years? Nah, 5 years. I lost the star. You don't believe me? Oh, migo, I could have told you I lost the star and it's mine. And it's mamish mine. I bought it forever. And it's the same losing star here, losing star there. Elamata, according to, if we follow Rabbi Yehuda, Elamata means, what does Elamata mean? According to that, what's going to happen? Yeah? Disproving you from how absurd things are going to happen according to your svara. Hi, Mashkanta de Surah. Oh, Mashkanta de Surah, which we discuss all the time. The Kasvi Hachi, they write as follows: the Mishlim Shnaya Elaine. This is quoting us the text written in Mashkanta de Surah. The Mishlim Shnaya Elaine. At the end of these years, however many years is written in a normal star, Tepuk Arada Beloy Kesef. This piece of land will come out of the hands of the Malve back to the Loive with no extra money. Meaning what? Meaning, true that I owe you 10 million. For X amount of years, let's say 10 years, the land will go back to the Loive, regardless to how many fruit we ate, 10 million, 20 million, or 1 million, the land is back to me, and that's a paid debt. That's Mashkanta de Surah. If we follow Rabbi Yehuda's logic, something horrible is going to happen. Why? Every person who is a malve sitting in a mashkanta de Surah kind of land will conveniently hide the star and just not find it anywhere. I'm so sorry I lost it. And he knows very well that it's under, I don't know, the 10th mattress in the Machsan. The Omar, and everyone's going to say, Lekuchi beyadi. I bought it. Every person who's sitting in the land, behaving like a balabais, yeah, eating all the fruit, poor Loive, innocently, is not misvakeach, he's not moich, he's not protesting, because he knows that Mr. Malve is sitting there legally. After 3 years, everybody learned Bava Basra, right? Bava Basra, third perek, even the traditional people, they all know, 3 years. He's going to say, I lost the star. It's mine forever. The Gemara is now giving the punch. Would be believed according to you, Rav Yehuda? Would Rabbanon of Surah establish such an establishment that people will come to lose? How can Chachamim bank? How can endorse such a thing, which is what? Which is a very, very easy way for the Malve to cheat on the Loive. How they do such a thing? Must be Rav Yehuda. You're wrong, and he has no migo. Rav Yehuda answers back. Ooh, Rav Yehuda is now coming and answering back everybody. Amalek. Yeah, so he answered. It's not Rav Yehuda himself talking, it's Rav Ashi, but we're now defending Rav Yehuda's side. Awesome. Over there, with the Mashkanta de Surah, that I can answer you. Takina l'Rabbanon demari ara yoiv taska, the kari kari punto. Says the Gemara like this. What's your concern? That the Malve, was just the Malve sits there, mark my words, behaving like a full balabais. He's a complete resident of the whole place. For 3 years, everyone believes already he's balabais. The Loive goes by morning and night not saying anything. Then, if that would have been the case, I'd agree with you. There's a chashash maybe of the Malve at some point losing the star and saying it's all mine. No, we made sure to combat that. We made sure that's not going to happen. By what? Because we say that the taxes of that land always have to be paid by the Loive. And he has receipts from the government. Nobody pays the taxes of someone else's house. No way. Enough for their own taxes, you pay for the other guy. And also, kari karia. They left him one other responsibility, the Loive, to be involved in the land held by the Malva temporarily. So the Malva doesn't look like the only balabos over there. What does he do? He's supposed to take care of one thing, of the choritz, like the groove that surrounds the field, either to demarcate the area or as a gutter for the rain, whatever. So because he's in charge of two things, one thing which is government oriented with shtaris, and one of them is physical involvement, nobody would say, hey, this karka is just belonging only to the Malve, because we saw that the Loiv is still involved, and the tax authorities can also prove that the Loiv is the one who paid. That's why he can't just take hold of it and say after 3 years, it's completely mine. If it's completely yours, why did I pay the taxes? I was the one who's actually, for free, dealt with your borders, yeah? Frag the Gemara, okay, very nice. Asks the Gemara, Ara deleis lakaria, The loyoiv taske mai. What would be in the case of a land, according to you, where the land has no borders like that? It has borders, but it does have the kari. A kari is like the uplifted, like a mound all around it. It's the kind of land that doesn't have it. It's a swimming pool. I don't know. Whatever. It's a kind of land that doesn't have that thing. Or let's say it's a land that doesn't pay taxes, tax-free land. It's in Luxembourg, in Gibraltar, whatever. Yeah, it's a tax. They actually do pay. Yeah. Let's say there are no taxes. What would you say then? The only way to prove that the loiv is still involved in his own land, so the malva can't just say it's mine 3 years. If your only way to make sure of that, to secure his involvement, are taxes and border, what would be in a land where there is no tax and there are no borders? What would be there? Wow, the onus is on the loive to make mecho. Who learned cheskas abatim? Both of them should know. In other words, the loive has a responsibility once every 3 years to make a big halabaloo, come to the one holding the land, who's not the owner, who's the malve, who's holding it as mortgage, and say in front of two edim, I am moiche, with a nice smile and a piece of cake maybe, I am moiche, I'm protesting, remember, it's my land. Like Tzvi told us in America, there's a place in New York where people go through, so they close it once a year, so they should remember that it's private and not public. He said there's such a place in Manhattan, I think, Lavdil. Yeah? Oh, so in other words, yes, you are so concerned about the loive, who's what, who may lose because the malve may say, I lost the star and the whole land is mine. Okay, so let the loive be moiche. Because if there's mecho at least once in 3 years, then he would never be able to say it's all mine. Frag the Gemara, and that's going to be the punchline. Lo imcha mai. What happened if he did not protest for 3 years? He's going to lose his land? Says the Gemara. Oh, yes. Yes. In other words, the onus is on him. If the loive was foolish enough to just let the other guy stay there for 3 years, everybody knows about the 3 years business, right? You, Mr. Loive, should have been aware of the fact that not everyone in the world are big tzaddikim, and Mr. Malve, after 3 years, may claim it's mine. It's your responsibility, and Achrai, says Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Yehuda is the right one. Rabbi Yehuda is la halacha. Says Rabbi Yehuda, the onus, the Achrai, is a responsibility on the Loive to protest once every 3 years, and this way he'll say, if he didn't, his problem, his loss, and Mr. Malve is yes, believed by migo. I just want to tell you a nice little anecdote that somebody told me, not a chiddush, I'm just telling you this is real life of today, Tafshin Pei Gimel, almost Daled. I don't remember exactly the story. A guy told me they have a neighbor, a woman, a neighbor, a shechena, a female neighbor, and she grows trees. Yeah, she grows trees that are blocking their sight. Yeah, and they every once in a while they go to her and they say we're making mecha. They're not happy with the trees. They don't go to BSD, right? But if she may come and say they didn't say anything for a long time, so they agree to that. So they come to her once in a while and they say we're making mecha. We're not happy with the trees being here. We're too AD. And when they come to BSD, she won't be able to say why didn't you say anything. So I'm saying, you see, this is in our neighborhood. You have this is going on. Yes, sir. Point. A whole new case over here. Such a simple case. How come we didn't think of it? We're not talking about mortgages anymore. Baruch Hashem. We're talking now again back to Oris. How much does an Oris take from the Balabais? Foolish question. Some third, some half, some quarter, some an eighth, some 90%. Yeah, there are some norms, but not muchach. And what happens at the end of the year? What a beautiful year. The thing yielded 10 million shekel worth of fruit. And surprise, surprise, there's an argument because the Oris says, I deserve what? Half. And the Balabai says, what? We spoke about you deserving only a third. What's written? We don't know. They didn't write anything. They trusted each other. At the end of the year comes the Oris and says, what? I came here in order to take 50%. That's what we spoke about. Balabai says, nonsense. No. I got him here clearly, so he should only get a third, not half. Argument, classical argument. What do you do then? Mineman, who's believed? Again, Rav Yehuda sides with the Balabais. Rav Yehuda Omar Balabais Neman. The Balabais is believed. He's a landowner. It's muchzak bahim. You're trying to get out of him more. You prove it. Rav Nachman Omar. By the way, Rav Yehuda has another reason later. What I'm saying now is not going to be the end, just an idea. Rav Nachman argues and Rav Yehuda Omar no. Hakol K'miniga Medina. Makes sense? Check what's normal in the Medina. We don't know who's right. Go around, make a survey, and see in that town, in that community, once again, what's more normal, half or a third, and whoever is supported by the majority of local people, what's normal, we follow the norm. Is it? Do you mind if we? Yeah. Not always. We said in a place where a shuttle gets half and an ors gets a third in some places. You can do whatever you want. It's chosh and mishpat. If you want me, if I want you to be my ors because good gardener, and you say, Akiva, I'm taking 80%, and I agree, will be 80%. It's not set in stone. It's not halacha. The Gemara mentioned different norms. It's not muchach. No. Sovu mina. At the beginning, we thought loy pligi. At the beginning, we thought that Rav Yehuda doesn't really argue Rav Nachman. What does it mean? You know what Rav Yehuda said that he balabais neman to say that it's only a third because hobasa de shokelarisa palga, hobasa de shokelarisa tilta, which means enachnami. Everyone, even Rav Yehuda agrees to Rav Nachman. We follow what's normal. Makes sense. We don't know if it's half a third. Ask around. What do most arisim do? Is it half or is it a third? Mistaber, that was their agreement too. So why did Rav Yehuda said balabais nema to say a third? Because in that place you take a third. Rav Yehuda spoke about a place where it's normal to take a third. Amar lo Rav Mari brother bas Shmuel. No. That's not true. There is an argument. Achi Amar Abaye. That's what Abaye says. Afilu be'ata de shoki larisa palga. Even in a place where it's very normal for the oris to take a half, and now the balabais claims against minagamokoim. Say no, I agreed to give him only third. I'm a kamtzan. I didn't agree to give him half like most people here. Still pligi, and they still argue, and Rav Yehuda would still side with balabais, even though it's not the normal done thing. Rav Yehuda Omer balabais neman. Again, we're not asking what's the right thing to do. I'm not sure you're getting it. The question is factual question. We are trying to rewind the movie. What happened a year ago when they made the agreement? We don't know. Nobody was there. Yeah, no Adim. What makes sense to you that was said? Rav Nachman says, I don't know. Probably behave normal like most people. Yeah, right? You got a guy going to a pizza shop. Most people going to a pizza shop go there to buy pizza. Maybe he's going to make a phone call. Maybe he works there. Maybe. But most people go to pizza shop. Mistam is going to buy pizza. That's what there's Mar sign to go to a tray for place. I'm not joking. Yeah. Yeah. Even if you go to toilet. No, true. Yeah. But She'en can, yeah. Mistam, that's what why is Rav Yehuda saying otherwise? Why is Rav Yehuda siding with the Balabais, even if Balabais claims that it was different to everybody else? Here comes the real punch. Rav Yehuda Omar, not like I said before. You know Balabais Neman? Again, migo. The Bai Omar schir velekitihu. Balabais, if he wanted to, he could say to Beis Din and to everybody else, there's no documentation. You know this guy who's been working so nicely the whole year? He's just a worker. He's just a day laborer. He's not a percentage guy. He's a guy that I paid him every day, minji 50 shekels. Where's the proof? It was all done about that. We like the shtibel system, nothing written, nothing agreed. That's a huge migo the Rav Yehuda believes in. Yeah, Rav Yehuda says, say thank you. Nothing was documented. Say thank you that I'm going along with you, that you're an Oris, and I'm only arguing about third versus half. If I wanted to, I could have said, Oris? What's Oris? I think I learned about it once in Kitavav. You're just a regular worker. There's no proof. That's what Rav Yehuda holds. Rav Nachman argues, because Rav Nachman believes we have like a concept here of a proof against the migo of what most people do, which Rav Yehuda doesn't believe. Rav Yehuda believes in migo more. Rav Nachman believes more in what's socially accepted to overcome the migo. That's probably the machlokes between them. Baruch Hashem, 10:25. Questions are welcome right now. Atzlocho Rabba, and that's tomorrow. Metzia Hashem is Friday. Have a very, very nice Heilige Shabbos, the last Shabbos of the year. We can be mechaper on all the bad things we did on all the Shabbos of the year. There's another Girsa that's first Shabbos. Both Girsas are right. The last Shabbos of the year can be mechaper on the whole year. Anything you relax, not nice, not good, in Shmir Shabbos and Midas and anything, if it ever happened, now's your chance to correct it all. We go by the end. Metzia Hashem will have a good Shabbos, and we're back on Sunday. Next Sunday will be mechaper and all the bad things we did in the Shiur, all the other Sundays. Okay. Atzlachu, bracha to everybody here, everybody in Torah Anytime, YouTube, and Kol HaLashon. Thank you. Have a terrific Friday and Shabbos.